inspiring day, one that will change the very face, the very entrance for so many of our employees and visitors here in the Capitol, and one that will make our Capitol more representative of the visitors and the employees that come here. I want to thank our First Lady, our Lieutenant Governor, Amanda Matthews, and all the monumental women of Kentucky, current and former members of the Kentucky Commission on Women and the Historic Properties Advisory Commission, and so many others that played a big role in making this historic day possible. This has been a long time coming, far too long, but I'm honored to be governor on a moment, and an important moment in this Capitol's history and in our history. What we choose to hold in a place of honor in our Capitol demonstrates our shared priorities and our overarching values. Monuments like this one celebrate a specific individual's legacy and her actions. It's the first time we can say her actions in this Capitol. They are larger than life reminders of what these people stood for current and future generations to see. Today, we join each other to celebrate a long-awaited and much-needed change in our Capitol, the installation of the first large-scale monument honoring a woman, Nettie Depp. As an advocate for education, reform, and equality, Depp was the first woman elected to public office in Barron County when she became superintendent of schools in 1913. Nettie Depp was a hardworking public official nearly 7 years before the ratification of the 19th Amendment. The historical significance of her election to this leadership role cannot be diminished. She truly was a trailblazer for public education and for the women of Kentucky. Depp is worthy of the pedestal upon which she literally has been placed, but she also symbolizes the significant contribution of so many other important women in Kentucky's history. I'm fortunate that I've been surrounded by incredibly strong women my whole life in both my personal and my professional career. As First Lady, first my mother, Jane Beshear, championed causes like Horses and Hope and Shop and Share to better the lives of Kentuckians, and she fought almost 6 years to raise the dropout age here in Kentucky, and we're proud of Jane Beshear's work in doing that. And now, my wife, Brittany, has led an overwhelmingly successful, possibly the most successful toy drive in human history, to give an amazing moment of hope at Christmas to those that had been through one of the most traumatic moments that we can imagine, and as she told me, hadn't just lost their Christmas toys, had lost all of their toys. Think about this. After the worst tornado event in our history, Brittany Beshear made sure these kids had one of the best Christmases in their lives. For Lieutenant Governor, one of the most important decisions I had to make coming into this job, I chose another accomplished female leader. Actually, she agreed to do it. I made the offer. The acceptance was Jacqueline Coleman, who is an educator and has worked with me to steer us through a worldwide health pandemic, major disasters, but also to do things like expand access to health care here in Kentucky, to create more jobs in a 2-year period than any administration has ever seen in Kentucky, to constantly push for equity, including now building the first hospital in the west end of Louisville in 150 years, but most importantly, just to try to do what's right every day for all of our citizens, regardless of where they live in the Commonwealth and regardless of their party. These women and so many other remarkable women have shaped my life and provided me with the perspective I hope has made me better as a governor. And trust me, every single day I hear what I should be doing from Lila Beshear, the other strong woman in my life. But let me tell you, these strong women, my mom, my wife, the advice of our Lieutenant Governor, I think it made me a better person, a better governor, and a better father. Those are the things I strive to be each and every day. And today as governor, but most importantly as a father, I'm grateful that my daughter and generations of women to come, everyone that walks through the doors of these Capitol, will know Nettie Depp, proudly standing here in her rightful place in the Capitol. She is a monument to so many strong women who have come before her and are going to make this Capitol a better place, just like she made this Commonwealth a better place. We all love the Commonwealth of Kentucky, and today we can be proud that we're righting a historic wrong here in the Commonwealth. And Nettie Depp is going to be a testament to continuing to do what's right day in and day out, and I know she will remind all of us, even when it's hard, doing the right thing is what we're here to do. Thank you all very much.
I just say we unveil the statue. I think he pretty much said everything. Do you have the same speechwriter? I'm just kidding. I'm a longtime supporter of the arts. I love how it helps you to express yourself, and it helps you to learn about yourself, and it helps you to teach others who you are. When we interact with art, we open ourselves to new perspectives. We allow ourselves to consider new ways of being. The things we choose to put on display, especially somewhere like here, our State House, says a lot about what we value. For example, the Team Kentucky Gallery is right here in the Capitol. Andy and I created this exhibit because we felt it was important for Kentuckians to come into this building and see themselves and their communities represented. We wanted to give Kentuckians an opportunity to use their voices to tell us their stories and their perspectives. For too long, thousands of people have come to this Capitol and seen a lot of statues here, testaments to Kentucky history, but never was one a woman. I think there's something special about a statue. It implies significance and longevity. It's taken a long time for a woman to be honored this way on Kentucky state grounds. We correct this today with the unveiling of a statue honoring Nettie Depp. Her presence in the Capitol is significant, not only for what she accomplished in her lifetime, but what she represents for all of Kentucky's women who have come after her, standing on her shoulders to become the women they want to be, not the women they were told they could only be. It's an acknowledgement that women are leaders and change makers. We've been that for a long time. Another strong woman. It's okay. Hey, Ev. This is just one more step in the ongoing journey to thank and recognize women who helped create this Commonwealth. Their contributions matter. I have a son and a daughter, and I think it is critical that I emphasize, not only to Lila, but to Will, that we all have the potential to do great things. Who we are should never hold us back or give someone a greater opportunity than us. We all have a voice, and we are all within our right to use it. So it's my hope, and actually Lila was supposed to be here with us today, but COVID booster called her to her bed instead. But this is a special day, and I think as our children pass through the halls of this Capitol for years to come and see Nettie Depp, they can think about the potential within all of us, and I hope that that makes our children feel proud of the Commonwealth that we all call home. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Governor and First Lady. Today is a historic day in the Commonwealth. A failure to observe women in places of honor has narrowed the vision of generations of young people and revealed a lack of understanding of American history regarding women's work, sacrifice, and the immeasurable contributions that they have made. Today, we change that. As the state's highest elected female and teacher, I am thrilled that a woman who was a teacher and a woman who was a teacher will be the first female statue here in Kentucky's state capitol. Nettie Depp was a pioneer in education. She was elected school superintendent for Barron County in 1913, 7 years before women had full voting rights. She was a true visionary in education reform and a suffragist. The impact that Nettie Depp had on her community is profound, and it can be felt a century later. And it is not lost on me that were it not for her, I may not be here today. As many of you know, my father served in the state legislature. So as a young girl in elementary school, I spent many a snow days running through these halls. And I never saw a statue in the building that honored someone who looked like me. But my 2-year-old daughter, Evelyn, will never have to say that. The thousands of students who visit this capitol on field trips every year, both boys and girls, will see a woman, a teacher, honored in their state capitol. I want the youngest Kentuckians to hear me when I say this. If you want to make your community and this Commonwealth a better place, become a teacher. Kentucky's future is in our classrooms today. Nettie Depp understood this. She made it her life's work, and for that, she made Kentucky a better place. Thank you.
Good afternoon to the governor, lieutenant governor, esteemed first lady, and our sculptor, Amanda Matthews. My family and friends who've traveled across the state, and to all of you gathered here for this auspicious occasion, thank you. I'm Keisha Bacon-Brown, a member of the Monumental Women of Kentucky Committee. Would you all please stand? First, remember this word, intentional. It means planned and deliberate. My being here is not coincidence, it is intentional. Amanda intentionally asked me to participate in this historic occasion where we celebrate the first sculpture honoring a woman. I was born here in Frankfort and spent my family vacations and holidays here growing up. Kentucky State University is my family school. My parents met there. My great-grandmother graduated from Kentucky State in 1898, as did my grandmother in 1932, all of her children, my uncles, aunts, cousins, and my baby brother, Cuddy IV. I attended Kentucky State along with some other colleges. Education and inclusion are imperative, and they change lives for generations. My daughter, Candace Joy, is a fifth-generation college graduate. My family is invested in Kentucky. I have served as a practicum supervisor for the University of Louisville, helping to educate tomorrow's social workers. Amanda and I have been friends for over 20 years. We've worked together on other projects and strive to intentionally continue elevating the discussion about women, people of color, other marginalized communities, and righting wrongs. When Amanda learned that there were no statues of human women in Kentucky on state-owned land, she charged into action. She intentionally contacted people who she knew had the power to change that in the state capitol. She then intentionally researched and produced a masterpiece that would forever change the landscape of our state. All of Amanda's art depicts a beautiful story, and all of us here today are privileged to be a part of this unparalleled, intentional unveiling that will remain long after we are ancestors. She is not only a transcendent sculptor, but also a brilliant scholar, a unique historian, a remarkable activist, a peerless motivational speaker, a wonderful philanthropist, and a consummate healer. All that she does is intentional and impeccable. All of the intricate details about the Nettie Depp sculpture are intentional. The average person cannot fathom the complexities that she manages during the creative and production process of a bronze sculpture. The time, energy, and the knowledge she possesses to complete a work such as this is mind-boggling. It is my honor, my privilege, and my joy to intentionally introduce to you the creative genius, a person that when you meet her, you are motivated to do better, the phenomenal sculptor of Miss Nettie Depp, Miss Amanda Matthews.
My goodness, thank you so much. Thank you so much for everyone who has made the effort to be here. Today is not about me. It is about women. 8 years ago in 2014, I set out to change an obstinate norm in Kentucky, to lift up muffled voices of our history, to reveal more faces and tell more stories of those who have been silenced and marginalized. There are so many people to thank who have been part of this journey, and they span across the state and across 3 administrations of Kentucky government. My husband and business partner, Brad Connell, and our daughters, Natalie and Audrey, who have supported this vision from the very beginning. All of the crew who have worked with us and many others who've donated their time. Everyone who has supported this project through funding and advocacy. The Kentucky Commission on Women, the Artemis Initiative Public Charity, the Kentucky Foundation for Women, the Historic Properties Advisory Commission, all of the members of the Monumental Women of Kentucky Committee, especially Carol Mitchell and our honorary co-chairs, Lieutenant Governor Jacqueline Coleman, and First Lady of Kentucky, Brittany Beshear, and of course, Governor Andy Beshear. Thank you. Nettie Depp was a stalwart education reformer in Kentucky. She served as a public school teacher and principal and was elected superintendent of schools in Barron County, Kentucky in 1913, 7 years before most women earned the right to vote. Depp was a resounding advocate on behalf of educating all children, including girls and racial minorities, which was a bold sentiment at the time. She was a powerful speaker and writer who used her voice on behalf of children, teachers, suffrage, and public service. In March 1907, she wrote, "Within the walls of that building, boys and girls have been molded into educated men and women. Often upon entering, they could be compared to coarse, rough ironware as it is dug from the earth. Here, they are placed under the best teachers that can be secured anywhere and are carried through a thorough course of drawing out until they, like the iron ore after it has been sheltered, heated, and drawn out again and again, becomes the finest wrought steel. My hope is that this sculpture not only honors Depp, but serves as a proxy for other unsung Kentucky heroes who dedicate their lives to their communities and in service to others. Depp's accomplishments are long, so beloved that when she passed away in 1932 of breast cancer, her funeral service in the tiny hamlet town of 88, Kentucky, had to be moved outside to accommodate the 1,500 people who attended. To put that in perspective, the current population of 88 today is about 314 people. Teachers shape lives. One of her students wrote an eloquent poem and recited it at one of her 2 funeral services. The last stanza reads, Although she's gone, yet she lives. Her earthly presence our memory fills. Down through the years of passing time, her influence will live in our minds. A star of light, a star of love, has exchanged earth for heaven above. She has inherited crowning grace, rewarding the way she ran her race. By Kalama Oliver, a pupil from Scottsville. May we all live our lives in such a way that inspires children to write poetry. Education helps level the playing field for all. Depp said education's value is above all the gold in the world. She certainly transcended her place in Kentucky history and moved the needle forward. But she was not perfect. No human being is. At best, we are all imperfect purveyors of the perfect notion that all human beings are born free and equal in dignity and rights. This sculpture does diversify the collection in the Capitol and the Commonwealth of Kentucky. And while it serves as a small but powerful step forward, there is much more work to do. Representation matters. Many Kentuckians still do not see themselves reflected in our statuary, in our halls of justice, and in other positions of power and authority. This is only one small step, but let us celebrate our small steps by including more voices, telling more untold stories, and serving each other with a greater sense of community. I hope this will create momentum for positive change, making it easier for the next woman to be honored in the Capitol. It has been a long, winding, and sometimes difficult path, and the whole world is different today than it was 8 years ago. But today, together, we change the trajectory of 230 years of Kentucky history.
I'm gonna stand with you.
Okay,
You ready? You join?
I think she's
But you've seen it before. Oh, my goodness. All right.
Yes, sure. I'll move my things out of the way.
All right, I'm
I'll get
sorry.
that.
So today, Amanda said today is not about her, and that is true, but we wouldn't be here without her and this work that she did. And that goes for all of the women who have ever served on the Kentucky Commission on Women, past and present, and all of the women leaders that we have had that have helped pave the way for women like me. To be standing here before you today. That is not lost on any of us, and I'm certainly excited that we have unveiled the first statue of a woman in Kentucky's Capitol, because I have some ideas, Amanda, if we want to work on some more. But thank you all so much for coming today. We invite you to join us on the mezzanine level for reception following this unveiling upstairs, and I believe the overflow room in the rotunda is going to line up. They're coming down my hallway. They're coming down the hallway to my right, your left, and we'll circle around so that everyone can see the statue for themselves, and then we'll all attend the reception upstairs. Thank you all for coming. What an exciting day for Kentucky.
I know, it's like, it's only taken a decade, but we did it. It's been, talk about needing persistence.
Persistence, boy, I tell you what, it took all kind of persistence for the last 10 years.
How are you?
How about you?